Welcome to the podcast today. I'm Tom Rowland, and this is How To Tuesday this week. This week, we're going to answer a question. Got a question on the email, podcast@saltwaterexperience.com, and happy to answer those questions. In fact, it gives us a lot of great content for this show. So if you have questions about how to do something, or maybe just something that you feel that would be a good topic for this How To Tuesday podcast or a longer podcast, shoot me an email at podcast@saltwaterexperience.com. This week, I'm going to answer this one question that I've gotten many, many times. In the Florida Keys, we use live shrimp and live crabs often. Other places use live shrimp and live crabs often. This gentleman and many others have asked me, how do you keep shrimp alive overnight? Okay. Why would you even need to keep shrimp alive overnight? You want to do that if you're going to go out before the bait shop opens, or you have shrimp left over from today and you're trying to save it for tomorrow. Now, we make a stop at the bait shop pretty much every day, but if we want to get out there really early before the bait shop opens and we want to be fishing for tailing bonefish or tarpon or whatever, we want to be able to take our shrimp and keep them overnight. I struggled with this for a while. It doesn't seem like it'd be that hard, but here's the key. The shrimp needs to rest. So there are certain pumps that you can use. And when I was first starting to try to figure out this challenge of how to keep bait alive overnight, got a tournament that's going to start really early in the morning. We don't have the luxury of going to the bait shop in the morning and picking shrimp then. We have to have it the night before, and it has to be ready to roll that morning. So in doing this, I tried 5-gallon buckets. I tried, some sort of something that would circulate the water. I tried keeping the shrimp in my canal behind the house. There's not enough flow there. They would die. The water was often too hot. So I would start to keep them inside, and the air conditioning definitely helped. But some of these pumps would actually heat the water up. The pump put off some heat itself, and the water would get extremely hot and then end up killing the bait. The other thing that happens is if you have a pump that is pumping the water out and then back in, sometimes the flow is too much for the shrimp, and they are just having to swim all night long. So imagine that somebody was trying to keep you alive and put you on a treadmill and you had to keep running all night long. Well, sooner or later, you're going to get tired, and the weak ones are going to start dying, and maybe the super athletes can make it overnight, but even those guys are going to die. So 2 things need to happen. You got to get oxygen into the water. So you can do that in many different ways. Probably the most effective way for shrimp is with a bubbler, an aerator. And these come in lots of shapes and sizes. You need a stone on the bottom of your shrimp tank, and you need an aerator. These are usually battery operated. You can go to aquarium stores and you can get ones that are AC, and you don't have to worry about the batteries dying. And that will solve your problem. You don't need the water to be circulating for shrimp to stay alive. What you need is to oxygenate the entire water column. So a stone with a weight on it, like a lead weight that takes the stone to the bottom, and an aerator will keep your shrimp alive. Sometimes you'll have a problem with shrimp dying even in that situation if the water gets really hot for whatever reason. So you want to keep them inside in the air conditioning. And you also want something that the shrimp can hang on to. Because again, if they are trying to swim all night long, they're just going to die. They're just not going to make it. So if you have something that they can hold on to, a piece of screen, something around the edge, that is the best way to keep them alive. So in the air conditioning with an aerator and something for the shrimp to hang on to. Then you want to think about, well, how much water do I need? And if you're trying to keep too many shrimp in too small of a place, then you're going to run into problems. So if you have a 5-gallon bucket filled, you got four gallons in a 5-gallon bucket, you can keep a lot of shrimp in there. But, you want to make sure that one air stone is all the way on the bottom. Now, I used to make my own things. I used to put a screen around a 5-gallon bucket, and I used to have all these different aerators. I even had oxygen, pure welding oxygen, and a giant air stone, and that definitely works. But I would have to go back and get the oxygen filled at the welding station, and it definitely works, but it's not always ideal. There's a new product that came out, and it's the Frable. They came out with this thing, and it looks like a cooler. It's called the Magnum Bait Station, and this thing is really great. They took all the suggestions that people have given them. It has a little net that fits in there, and so all the bait is in this net. It can hold on to the side of the net, and it can just hold on so it doesn't have to swim all night. This thing is a cooler, so it keeps the water nice and cool, and it has an aerator built in. One of the problems with an aerator is that oftentimes you're sloshing the water around out of the bucket. It goes and gets all over your aerator. You don't necessarily know it. The batteries start to corrode. Sometime during the night, it just stops and dies. In this situation, the aerator is on the top of the bait station, the little cooler thing, and it's a very good product. I've been very impressed with it. We have one of these. So if I come in the night and I have shrimp left over, I can just put it in this thing, put it in the air conditioning, and the shrimp is going to be alive in the morning. I also try not to keep shrimp with any other kinds of bait. Pinfish will definitely be picking at the shrimp all night long, and they'll kill them. So I don't ever keep them with pinfish, and I also don't keep them with crabs. Crabs are also picking at them and trying to eat them. So you don't want that. If you want your shrimp to stay alive, use an aerator. Make sure the stone is at the bottom. Make sure you got fresh batteries. You don't get any salt water on your aerator, or get something like this new Magnum Bait Station from Frable, and that thing will help you to keep your shrimp alive, and it'll probably pay for itself pretty quickly. As you go buy $30 worth of shrimp at the bait station, you come back with almost all of it, and most people just kill it that night and have to go get $30 more shrimp the next day. So if you're able to keep that for several days or even a week, the bait store can do it. Why can't you do it? If you do it like this, you will be able to do it. So the Frable Bait Station's a good one. Or go to the aquarium store, get yourself a AC aerator, a big air stone, and you're going to be able to keep it alive. Make sure they got something to hang on to, though. That's a big factor. All right, that's how to keep shrimp alive overnight. How to Tuesday for this week. See ya.